right, let's start with the all-important syncing. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. It's been a long time. All right then, got the headphones on today, so we know something different must be going on. And well, it almost slipped me by, but it's 5 years to the day as I record this since I uploaded my first ever Football Manager Let's Play video on this very channel. So scroll down to the bottom of my archives and I've got it, and we are going to watch it today. We're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. We're not going to watch the whole thing. 24 minutes, 45 seconds. That would be an entire season's worth of episodes from me these days, but we're going to watch some highlights of it, shall we say, at least until I curl up into a big ball of cringe. But if you are going to go down into the comments, well, let me know down there, what was the first video of mine that you watched? What was the first series that you followed? Share the memories. But anyway, let's have a look what it was like 5 years ago. And whoa, okay, we're going to stop right there. The setup, man, it's hard to believe what it was like 5 years ago. I mean, I took the advice that I saw out there from some of the existing creators at the time. Just get started, use what you have. And what I had at the time, this was 2 laptops ago, was a laptop that was kind of coming to the end of its life cycle with an onboard webcam, hence the kind of grainy little minimized webcam in the corner. And the headset, I'd completely forgotten about that. I remember I bought that for work and it was advertised on the box as works with Skype. Had a little microphone coming down here that kind of made me look like I was in a call center or something. But anyway, let's not interrupt past me. Let's see what I was saying.
Welcome to the channel and welcome to episode 1 of Breaking the Big Three. I'm here in the Gençlerbirliği hot seat in Ankara, Turkey.
Referring to the news item.
Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş. We're coming for ya.
Whoa, okay, wow, this was my idea of a title screen at the time. Just stick your thumbnail in there and lay some music over the top. Simple as, but, you know, it's effective. That music still sticks in my head today.
In Turkey, you've got these 3 big Istanbul teams that have completely dominated pretty much the entire history of the Turkish Super League, winning.
That sounds like I'm reading off a script. I wasn't at the time. I got into scripting intros and things like that much later, but it definitely sounds like I'm reading off the script. Lots of pauses before moving on to the next part. But anyway,
54 out of 61
let's watch on a bit more.
So we're here to challenge that. Gençlerbirliği from the capital Ankara. The capital Ankara has never had a championship winning team. We're out to change that.
It's a good premise for a series. I still enjoyed that one. Fun memories of this save.
So let's have a look at the team in this first section of the video. Just want to give you an
overview. We're getting a bit of the old plosives there with the
I'll cut forward to the end of pre-season
and all of that kind of stuff.
We'll fit the first match in as well. Okay. So I'm told by my current...
I can tell there that I kind of stumbled over my words and I did a big but I just kept going. Probably these days I might roll that back a bit and retake. Probably the whole intro these days would have been a bit more punchier. It would have just been, right, here we are, ready to start, zoom cut, B-roll, let's go. And that would have been it.
Welcome back. As you can see,
I did a little fade there.
On the eve of the season. Actually, well, we're on the day of the match, and I'm ready to make my manager.
See how well prepared I was there. But yeah, I thought we'll have a look at the gameplay, the match from the first episode.
Pretty tough match to start with, but we'll see how it goes. I said I was going to show you transfers. Not a lot to show you, really. It's been a bit tough. I don't.
Again, a thing about, I guess, feeling like I had to do something. New episode of a new series, new club. I have to go through the transfers, and there weren't really any transfers of note. But I still went through them. Anyway, as we will see.
Rules on how to go about transfers, but I don't like to just go to the player search menu and start like spamming the scout button. So I want to see what my scouts recommend to me, what the new staff I brought in recommend to me. The new staff I brought in all said I can't recommend anybody.
So, again, why mention it? I do notice that. I mean, I try to avoid it myself, but I do notice that with a lot of new creators I come across. You're trying to justify certain things you do in the game and certain ways you play the game. So I'm not just going to go and use the search feature or look up a list of Wonder Kids. I'm going to do it properly and all that kind of stuff. You know, how we try to justify ourselves to the audience.
The scouts keep recommending foreign players. The problem is there's a cap of 14 registered foreign players. The squad already had 15 or 16 when I came in. Even when I
I definitely could have condensed this a little bit more. I feel
players.
Certainly would be if I was doing it today.
Actually, bring one foreign player in, an Italian guy, Alessandro.
You love it. Just talk about how I can't sign foreign players and then show you the foreign player I signed. I have to say, with the backdrop there, that brings back memories as well. I filmed this in the bedroom of the apartment I was renting at the time. I thought with the color contrast on that corner of the room, it would create an interesting visual. Not quite sure I pulled it off, but what was better, that or these curtains that I have today? You decide.
Well, all right, so here we go.
All right, yeah, all right. Just what I was saying. And now it's something else. Of course, as you can hear there, let's play again. A big blast of crowd noise. That was something I just didn't think about. I set the game up and, I was just recording and I didn't even notice it when I was editing. In those days, when it came to editing, I used to I'd record my intro, I'd record my kind of overview of what had happened or what was coming up in the episode, I'd record my match and, stitch those videos together and upload it, and I wouldn't really watch it myself. And it took a viewer to point out to me, was it in the comments for this video? Or it was the second video even, where a viewer said to me, you've got to turn the crowd noises down. We can barely hear you at points in the game. So there's a piece of advice for any budding content creators. Always watch your videos back. If you don't like watching them, you can't expect anybody else to watch them. Spend some time watching your videos back. You'll pick out things like this, so you can re-record or you can change it for the next episode and just keep up that cycle of improving your content. Now here we see another problem with the setup I had, because I was playing full screen on the laptop. I didn't have a second monitor at that time, so I had my crappy onboard webcam. I had my little headset mouse. Didn't have any lights apart from the light in the room, and I was full screen in the game, so you can kind of see during the video I'm slowly disappearing into the corner of the screen. But again, I had no idea until I looked at it afterwards, and I didn't, as I said, I didn't watch this properly. I think also this on extended highlights, because it's only one match in this game, in this episode rather, but yeah, 24 minutes. I had it on extended highlights. Definitely for an episode I'd be key highlights, and I'd be trimming those highlights down in the edit, not commentating over that entire thing as I seem to be here. Anyway, let's just listen in on the commentary a bit if we can.
Have we given away free kick? Looks like it. Oh, and I think he's already been booked.
The referee's taking his time to walk over. The referee's time wasting here.
We've got our first red card of the season.
There I go, off the side of the screen.
What a tool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, mate. Well,
yeah, it was a bit of a muted reaction from me. Yeah, thanks a lot, mate. But there was a sending off in my first episode, in my first ever Football Manager YouTube match. Who would have guessed it? All right, let's see what happens from the resulting restart.
I was just about to say, let's just get to half-time at 0-0, but
I still do say that in my commentary,
it's not to be
but I don't sound so bored as I do. Deary me. Well, it's been a long time. We've come a long way, I think.
I suppose I should really make some tactical changes.
Just the pauses. The pauses really stick out to me. Whether it's a pause mid-sentence or just while I'm doing something. I generally cut those bits out these days, and I make sure my face stays on screen. Right, so skip forward about 12 minutes in episode time to the final minute of the game. I mean, yeah, I let, like I said, it was on extended highlights. I didn't cut anything out. I let this whole thing run for about 15 minutes, the whole match experience. Way to entice new viewers. But all right, I'm curious to see what I said at the end of this episode in that kind of attempt to hook people back. But I don't know, did anybody ever get this deep into the episode? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out.
Luckily, the end product's been lacking from versus score quite a bit today.
So there we go. Match over.
Start to the season, but we had the man sent off.
I'm really down in the corner. It's almost like I was
What do you
flipping off the side of the chair while I was recording it or something like that.
Yeah, I agree with the assistant manager there. I'm not going to be harsh on them, so I can't fault
Different kind of dressing
any of
rooms
you
in Football
except for
Manager
the guy who got sent
2018
off.
as well, wasn't it?
It was just one of those days. Okay, they liked it. They reacted positively. Well, that's something, I suppose.
Oh, and finally a bit of silence. We get away from that crowd noise. Poor performance, disappointing defeat. I mean, given that it was a first episode, I think that goes for my content delivery as well. Poor performance, a little bit disappointing. But you know, you got to start somewhere, haven't you? You got to start somewhere. All right, so last 30
Thanks for
seconds.
watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager 2018 content. And join me again to see how close we are to breaking the big three when we take on 2/3 of the big three next time. I'm Dodgy Gamer. Thanks for watching.
So there you go. We finished with thanks for watching. I did get the call in there to like and subscribe. So fair play to me. I have, even if I say so myself. Nice music to finish off as well. But yeah, that series was a fun one. I mean, I think it ran, 68, 69 episodes, 7 or 8 seasons in the end. I did turn Gençlerbirliği into the dominant force in Turkish football. Europe turned out to be a tough nut to crack, but it was a good save. It set me off on my Football Manager journey on YouTube. Also introduced me to many great members of the Football Manager content creation community. I mean, people that, still watch their videos and still interact with a bit these days, like Grey Hair Gaming and Old Lady Plays and FM Trek. These are all people I discovered around this time. There are also a few others who don't create content anymore, as far as I know, like Tim Redwood and Coyote Gaming and Billsy. I also remember whilst doing that series, that Gençlerbirliği series, I got a shout out from one of the top Turkish FM YouTubers. I think at the time he was on like 25,000 subs, and I checked him out the other day. He's around 100,000 now. Taner Işık was his name, but he gave me a shout out in one of his videos, and I got like plus 100 subs in a day. That was still remains, I think, my highest single sub increase in a single day, in 5 years. And here we are now, closing in on 3,300. I mean, there are other creators who started around the same time as me, or a bit later, whose channels have got much bigger. But, I am more than happy with where my channel is these days. I mean, you have to be realistic with this kind of thing, I think. And the thing is, for me, I see my Football Manager content creation as a hobby. First and foremost, it's a way that I get to play the game and I get to share that experience with you, the audience. So I always appreciate your interactions, whether it's hitting the like and subscribe button, which, please go ahead and do so, leaving a comment, whether it's here on YouTube or Twitter or somewhere else. But the main takeaways I got, I think, from rewatching this first episode are as follows. Number 1, a reminder to take the plunge. If you're someone who's umming and ahhing about maybe creating some Football Manager content on YouTube, or you're thinking, is it too late? Is there still a space for me? There is. Just jump in, go with what you've got, use the computer you've got, as long as it can run the game and it can run OBS. Use whatever you've got to hand in terms of webcam, which, isn't essential, microphone and that kind of stuff, and just go for it. You're going to learn while you do it. That's the only way to learn, really. Number 2, I'd say what I did not do at this time. Watch your own content, watch it back and watch it carefully. So after you've recorded, review that raw footage, edit it, think about things. Does this really need to be in the episode? Could I maybe record that intro again? I mean, obviously, if you're doing a live com match, you can't really re-record that if it didn't work out as you wanted to, but you can watch it and you can take notes and you can think, right, I do not sound particularly engaging there, or I'm kind of mumbling a bit, I need to speak up a bit, or I need to adjust my microphone settings, I need to reposition my webcam, I need to reposition my own head so it's not off in the corner. Those kind of things you'll only find from rewatching your own content, so do it. So number 3, engage with the community. So not only with the audience, but of course when you're getting comments, when you're getting people giving you feedback, of course you want to get involved in a discussion with them and keep them coming back, but also find other creators. And I found when I started, it was really good. Okay, it's great looking up guys like Lelujo and Loki Doki, who were two of the main ones I checked out at the time, but also start looking for channels of people who are on a couple of thousand subscribers, people who are on a few hundred subscribers, see what they're doing, and that kind of gives you a more realistic goal. And number 4, speaking of goals, just be realistic about them. Growth will come with time and consistent content creation, but you've also got to recognize that that growth is going to come long term as well, and that's going to come as you improve your style, as you get more knowledgeable about the technical aspects of it, as you slowly, piece by piece, upgrade your equipment. Like one of the first purchases I made for the channel was this very microphone that I'm using right now, if I can show that without messing up the sound too much, but I ditched a headset for this. I then bought an external webcam, which I'm not using anymore. I then for later upgraded it, and then obviously things like the lights, the second monitor, all those kind of things, you know, you can add them piece by piece. There's no rush. If for some reason you want to check out that first ever Football Manager video of mine in full, you can check it out here, and keep your eyes out for a new series soon.